Welcome, everyone, to another Age of Radio Mercury. Trey, did you see me stuffing Dustin's face with that brownie?
I did. That's
It
so
wasn't a weed
funny.
brownie, but we were at his birthday party, and his brother's name is Mario. And a fun thing about Dustin here, let me show a picture of Dustin in case you don't know who Dustin is. It's Dustin. Dustin and his brother were born on the same day, but 5 years apart.
Oh, that's fun.
Which means that, does that mean that they had to be like, I don't know, made on the same or like conceived on the same day?
I would say around the same month, but
Yeah, I don't know
probably
anything
not the
about human
same day.
biology or how women work, so I guess I apparently don't know that. Well, everyone, my name is Jeremy, your host for Age of Radio Mercury. This is my partner in crime, creator Trey, and this is a show all about podcasting and other pop culture news. And Trey and I just spent like 15 minutes doing technical work because, for the love of God, technical stuff takes up all of our life. I don't know how we can't ever get it 100,000% right and accurate. Probably because we're doing it in our house. And I mean, I have a bunch of equipment. You have a good equipment. There should be no reason why we run into this many flaws and hiccups doing a simple StreamYard show.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I have no idea either. But if you're new to this show, Trey and I, we go over podcasting news articles, we go over pop culture news articles, and this is a show that's brought to you from Age of Radio. If you don't know what Age of Radio is, it is the media company that brings you the podcast network for everyone. And we have over 100 podcasts on our show. You can check us out at ageofradio.com. Here's some of our newest shows that we've added: Mass Virgin, Naturopathy Today, One Voice Evolving, the relaunch of Killer Lashes, Band of Bards, Same Convo, the Come Up Method podcast. So again, we believe that there is something for everyone on the network. We also have hit shows like the Coach JV podcast, my podcast, Age of Jeremy. We also have Creator Trey's podcast, Maker's Remarks. And eventually you'll be able to, if Dustin got his stuff together, also his poop together, if he got his poop together, we'd have our Mercury live stream on here. But essentially, Age of Radio is a media company. But if you have a podcast, we help you, our new podcasters, anywhere from 0 to 20,000 downloads a month. We help you get started, get your distribution going, help you grow, and help to monetize your podcast. And we have all kinds of other great stuff in the works. And you can check us out on Instagram at Age of Radioverse. You can also check us out on on Twitter at Age of Radio. We used to have a YouTube that got shut down. So if you're watching this, we used to have a bunch of people watch this show. And then that other YouTube channel got shut down, and now no one watches the show. And the only person that's on here right now is me, because I'm seeing what the stream looks like on YouTube so that we can make this a better show for everyone involved. Before we kick the show off and get into some news and some other updates, I want to do two things. I want to talk to you about some of the great things that we have going on at Age of Radio, and also talk to you about one of our sponsors, Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. But before I do that, Trey, how has your week been? What have you and Grandma been up to? And what kind of cool computer programming things are you doing, and what's going on in your life?
I really need to do more of the computer programming stuff. Most of the week I've been get excited for Apple Creator Studio, which came out 2 days ago. So now I've got all of those apps installed on my Mac and my iPad, and have been kind of messing around with it a little bit. But only thing is, I don't know what to do with it. I've got all this power and no it.
What do you mean you don't know what to do? You don't know what to do with it because you don't know what to make, or like, yeah. And you have it on? Do you have it on your iPad, or did you say it's on your Mac on your Mac?
Both.
You have it on
it's
both.
On both.
And you're paying the subscription. So you've added another subscription.
I actually went through, and I keep finding flipping more of them. I pay over $150 in subscriptions.
My God, Trey, we're gonna have to increase your salary just to keep up with your subscription problem.
Oh boy.
One thing that I found out, I bought a television, and I was trying to, I don't have it connected to an Xbox or my PlayStation or anything. So I was using the Hulu app on the television. And when I was going through it, I was trying to sign in to like, I thought that I had like a large family, like like the one that gets you like Disney Plus, the ESPN Plus, or the ESPN, and like the whole thing suite of Walt Disney crap. And for the life of me, I could not find the login for the one that I owned. But then I also know that we had another one that Danielle has. So I pay for like that twice. And I think my mom has a family plan. So I think I pay for Hulu 3 times when we could all just be using the same one.
Yikes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's insane.
Yeah, subscriptions are getting freaking out of control. How's your Substack going?
Pretty good. I haven't put anything out. I have an idea for an article, and I'm going to put this out within the next week or two. I'm going to write an article on the top 5 blind characters in media.
Ooh, that would be cool. Who's number 1? Daredevil?
It's Toph from the Avatar show.
Okay, that's fine. Is Daredevil number 2?
Daredevil's like number 3, 3 or 4.
You don't have to tell all 5 of them. I'll let you save it for your thing. Are there a lot of blind? Are there a lot of blind characters in? I guess they're in like media and shows and stuff.
Not really. It took me a while. I found like 7 of them, but like some of them are just not built the same way.
What do you mean? Like some of them are just like.
So, for
like
instance,
what are we talking about here?
So, for instance, this is one of the extra mentions, so I don't mind putting it here. There's a guy in Bleach with the blindfold, and he's blind. But
Oh yeah,
I didn't count him because one, he
He's a
doesn't
villain.
deal with blindness in any like meaningful way from what I've seen of the show so far, and 2, he's a bad guy.
Yeah, so tell me about that, Trey. What do you mean it doesn't like deal with blindness in a meaningful way? So like one of your criteria for making your list was that their blindness had to be some part of the character or the purpose of the character that's related, not just the fact that he is blind. It has to be more an intricate involvement.
Yeah, well, some sort of involvement. Like the guy is cool, and some of his powers might have like some stuff based on him being blind. But the fact that he's blind, I feel like, doesn't actually affect him that much, being a Soul Reaper. Whereas there's also a guy in Demon Slayer who's blind, and he did make the list.
Got it. So the blindness doesn't like the blindness impacts him in some way. Like
even if you
Daredevil, for instance, like the blindness impacts like is a big part of the storyline and impacts him as a person and him even as Daredevil.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Even if it's something where like so, if you think about it, the guy in Demon Slayer, he has the ability to like push rocks and stuff like that because it's all about content and concentration and looking inward and that sort of thing.
Got it.
So
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't even have to be closely interlinked, but like something.
Yeah, and I'm really excited because yeah, no, thank you for sharing that, Trey. So everybody, that's going to be on a Substack.
Yep.
All right, so make sure that you follow Creator Trey on Substack. I'm going to go ahead and if I remember how to do this, oh no, I closed it. Okay, I'm going to throw this bad boy up here. I think we have a Substack QR code. Scan that QR code somehow. I don't know how that works when you are like using your phone, but scan that somehow if you're watching this on a computer, I guess, and then go follow Trey's Substack. I almost said Hubstack because Husky Hubby Cosplay entered the back, and we're going to be talking about foam at the top of the hour in 10 minutes. And I have a whole foam book that I'm going to walk through with her and see if she knows everything in this book. I'm not actually going to do that, but I am going to talk to Danielle from Husky Hubby Cosplay. So we're going to talk to her in about 10 minutes here. But Trey, so they can go to your Substack. And before we kick over and do start an amazing foam talk segment, because we got started a little bit late, I do want to let everybody know that we are going to be at Tempe FanCon this tomorrow, actually, Saturday from 10 to I think 3 o'clock is the duration of the event. Trey, are you going to come and watch us and try to hang out, or you going to fly down here? What's going to go on? What's going on in your life tomorrow?
I can't fly down. It's a little late for that, but I will try and keep an eye on and see when you guys are streaming so that I can take a look and chat in the chat a little bit.
Yeah, one of the hard parts about doing the library cons, is that unless I know people that are going to be there, like I think Danielle's going to be there tomorrow, so I'll probably have her come. I think she's going to be there tomorrow. She may not be. I could have made all that up in my head. But it's hard to I got to find people. So tomorrow I'm not only going to make Dustin set up, then I'm going to go find people to do interviews with and then set them up in the StreamYard at that specific time and try to figure out how to do it. Okay, so tomorrow, Tempe FanCon. Come and join us. It's at Tempe Library at the Library Plaza from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. each year in January. The Tempe Public Library brings together fans from all over the valley for a celebration of all things cosplay, comics, and pop culture for a fun and memorable experience. We were there last year, but we didn't have our cool new setup that we do now. Fans can enjoy this absolutely free annual family event, jam-packed with local artists and authors, costume contests, games and activities, photo ops with cosplayers, prizes, and over 80 vendors, of which myself, Geek Collective, Jinx's sister, and some other people are also going to be there as well. Pets are prohibited at this event, so don't bring your dogs. Now, I'm going to say that as a note because they're not prohibited, but I encourage as many people as possible to bring their dogs and see if that can overrun and overthrow the fact that the pets aren't allowed at this event. That's what I want to see happen. All right, we got some comments here. The book that she wrote. No. And William put up here, is that the book that she wrote? No. Danielle did not write this book, but this is my only phone book that I could find. And so I'm assuming this lady on the front might have wrote the book. She might have wrote the book, Beverly, but I just wanted to get into foam because I'm going to go find the foam fun fighting people, and we're going to bring them on here as well. But I'm looking forward to a Tempe FanCon tomorrow, January 31st. Trey, if you could, tell me about your experience at our last library event. Like, be honest with me. Do you ever want to come back ever again?
I mean, I would definitely come back to help out, but it is a lot, and I need to make sure that I bring probably a water bottle and some liquid IV or some. I've been thinking about trying the focus powder. Have you ever heard of that stuff, like the Nello?
I've never heard of Nello. What is that, Trey? Enlighten me.
It's a drink that's supposed to boost your focus and energy. It's like got some caffeine and stuff in it. Pouch, you just pour it in like the liquid IV stuff.
That's cool. I started doing, Brian Johnson, that guy that like swears that he's like 17 years old, but he's like 50 and he's like reversing his age and everything. You know that guy?
Yeah.
Okay. I started like doing one of his like shake things that he has to like replenish. And then like when I wake up, I have like a sunlight, like a happy light that like I light on my face to like get my circadian rhythm back in or whatever. And, yeah, so that doesn't, I mean, it works. I feel good about it, but it's not like the greatest. I mean, I can't tell a difference drinking his like drink if I didn't drink it. But you should, what does work out though is pre-workout, Trey. Pre-workout, when I go and work out, I take pre-workout and I work out a lot better than if I didn't take the pre-workout. So maybe you should just drink a bunch of pre-workout throughout the day and it'll get you focused and lasered in and super hyper from all the caffeine that's in it.
I was going to say, I'm going to steer clear of that one.
All right, guys, before we bring up Danielle to talk about foam for the next 20 or 30 minutes here, a regular new segment that we're going to have on the show that Danielle is going to help us lead. I do want to talk to you a little bit about Merlin, the smartest way to track your crypto. And I do want to say that Merlin is technically one of our sponsors for Mercury because I own Merlin. And crypto has been one of the reasons why we're able to do all the fun stuff that we're able to do, because I have a financial education company called 3T Warrior Academy, and we have this amazing app that we created called Merlin. So head on over to merlincrypto.com. I had a link, but I don't know where it's at. Just go to merlincrypto.com. And the great thing about cryptocurrency is if you're involved with it, well, one of the problems with cryptocurrency is there's a lot of bad actors in the space. So it can have a bad connotation in it. But the point is that don't miss out on the opportunity to invest in cryptocurrency, to get involved with blockchain technology, and learn how blockchain technology specifically can be beneficial. But one of the problems with cryptocurrency is that a lot of the times you buy stuff on exchanges, you can buy stuff on what are called hot wallets or wallets. You can store your cryptocurrency on cold wallets. And so the problem is it kind of gets sparsed out and gets all over the place. So one of the things that we created at Merlin was a way for you to aggregate all of your exchanges into one place. So for example, here in the exchange tab, you can see that we have Kraken, Uphold, Uniswap, a demo wallet, Robinhood, Trust Wallet. All these wallets are connected to Merlin. And what it allows you to do on this asset page is to see everything in one specific place. So you can see your full Bitcoin total value. You can see your total gain, your total loss, depending on what's going on, total gain percentage, total gain in dollar amounts, daily gain, change in price. And you can do this for every single cryptocurrency for the most parts that's out there. But the thing that sets Merlin apart is you have the ability to create exit strategies. So one of the things that we learned in our financial education company is a lot of people don't take profits. So when they don't take profits, unfortunately, what ends up happening is that they ride the wave all the way up. They don't take profits, and then when there is people that are exiting the marketplace, it can crash, and then you lose all of that value that you built up over time. So what Merlin allows you to do is to create exit targets. So for example, in this XRP exit target, we're holding 50 coins to sell, or 50 coins to hold, 50 coins to sell, and then you can set different target prices of when you're going to sell on the way up, so that you can take those profits and reallocate them. And again, this isn't a cryptocurrency show. If you want to know more about Merlin, head on over to the Merlin YouTube channel, or head on over to the 3T Warrior Academy YouTube channel and check it out. But go to merlincrypto.com. If you're involved with cryptocurrency, you want to make sure that you have this as part of your portfolio. All right. And with that, Trey, before I bring up Danielle, is there anything that you want to say about Merlin? Do you have cryptocurrency? Do you have Merlin? Do I need to get you a free demo of Merlin? Do I need to get you set up with Merlin for free because you're my friend and you can start using it?
I do have a crypto. I have crypto.com is where I've done. I have tried using like some of the separate wallets, and I am not organized enough to use those things. So I'm kind of with what?
No, I said I understand.
I'm kind of sticking with. I do need to try Merlin, and I do need to do the free trial. I just haven't done so yet. Maybe that's an opportunity for me this month. I'll have to get signed up.
Just let me know. I own it. I'll just get you a free account.
I'm not.
Don't tell anybody I said that. I'll give one to Danielle too, and Husky.
Forget we're live.
And Husky Hubby. I know we're live, but they can't hear me when I push my handle from my mouth like this. All right, guys. Without further ado, I've been trying to get this going for a long time. I haven't been studying any foam, but I bought this cool book. This is not the author. This might be the author of this book, but we're bringing up Danielle, who is not the author. But we're going to talk about foam in all of its complexities, and hopefully we don't run into technical difficulties. If not, we're going to try to have foam talk at the end of every month. So without further ado, let's bring up the new addition to the Mercury team, Danielle, also known with her husband, Husky Hubby Cosplay. I mean, her husband's not here, but Danielle's here. And we got this little thing, so don't, hold on, Danielle, hold on. I got to push this button real quick. Oh, it didn't come up on our one. It just come up on the other one. There we go. Foam Talk. I don't know who made this or where it came from. Trey, did you make this?
I did make this, although I got to talk to Jinx because she did not click the thing that has it. It's supposed to have a transparent background, but I did make that.
Fantastic. So it's not supposed to have this just white background. But the good news is all three of us are pretty white. So based off of that, it could be white foam talk. Danielle, what's up? Oh, Danielle, I can't hear you. Why can't I hear you? See, we always have technical difficulties.
We sure do.
Can you hear me now?
Oh my gosh, I can. And you know what? I just realized there might be an echo people because I don't have my headphones on. So I failed, but that's usually how this show goes. It's been failing upward for years.
Hey, upward is the way to go. At least it's not failing downhill. So
that's true. So Danielle, let's do a fun foam talk segment, and then we can jump into some of the news that we have there. I definitely am happy that you're here because you're a creator, and I do want to talk to you a little bit about some stuff that's going on in AI. and your thoughts on it as well. And so just so you know, we always have technical difficulties. I might disappear through the show and then come back on, and it might just be you and Trey. But I'd love for you to introduce yourself, since you're going to hopefully, if I have my way, make you be a regular part of the Mercury team here and to be on. But go ahead and introduce yourself and what you do for a living as it relates to cosplay. Maybe you don't want to go deep into what you do for a living, but what you're willing to share, the floor is yours.
All right. So I am honored to be on the show. We've done, like you said, a few interviews before. So when you reached out and were like, let's do foam talk, I was like, let's do it. But I'm Danielle. I am one half of Husky Hubby Cosplay. The other half is the Husky Hubby. So we started cosplaying in 2017 with like closet cosplays. And then oh, I just got very big.
I might do that every once in a while, so I probably should have prepped you for that. But it's all yours now.
It is. Okay. So we started in 2017 doing closet cosplays. And then in 2021, I built my first kind of big EVA foam. My husband is the Husky one. So we do big builds for him. And he was Gang Orca from My Hero Academia. And then in 2022, I did Alphonse. Normally he's on display, but we were just at a con, so we have not put him back up. But his head is right there. And so he pretty much every con we go to shows up as Alphonse. And so from there we've just continued to kind of get bigger and build bigger. I just started some 3D printing stuff. I know this is foam talk, so I'll talk about the foam, but we started 3D printing too. So yeah,
no, absolutely. So for people that don't know, because I didn't know this and still really don't know it because I haven't read through my EVA foam book. I wonder if who's the person that wrote this book? Let me see here. Have you ever seen this book before?
That one I have not.
No. So I bought a fake EVA foam book by Beverly Downin.
I mean, she looks like she's got skills.
Yeah, I mean, she did these ones on the back here. Anyways, I haven't jumped into this, but what is EVA? I'm confused. Talk to me about. Let's start our foam talk off here. What is EVA foam, and how is that different from the foam that I find in my couch, and maybe the foam that we used for foam stick fighting, or maybe that was EVA foam. You weren't there for that, but we did this, like, there's this like company that I'd love to get on the show that'll probably be at Game On Expo when we're there here in a couple of months. But they have like these big swords, and then you fight each other with them. Is that still EVA foam, or is that a different type of foam?
That might be a different type of foam. I think the biggest thing, and EVA stands for something, and I don't know, that's why I just call it EVA foam, is a foam that can be cut and heat shaped and glued together, and it carries some rigidity to it, but it is pretty soft, pretty light, and that is different than like the foam that's in your couch or couch cushions. Actually, pillows are different than the foam that's in like couch cushions too. But couch cushion foam tends to be softer and less dense. So the thing about EVA foam is it's very dense. So that's what helps it hold its shape. That's what you can glue together. That's what helps it stay protected, kind of more so than the elements. Because if you tried to make something out of the foam in your couch, it wouldn't really stick together well. That's why you have to have the things around it, like the couch cushion covers, to hold it together. Got it.
So the EVA foam then is what they're able to make like this type of weaponry out of, at least for the fact for it to sustain its specific shape.
Yes, yeah, it's the density that really matters, because you can also use tools on it. I'm sure we'll get into it. With like, you can Dremel it, you can sand it, you can cut it, and really get into it with the details, because it holds that detail so well as well, because it's dense. So there's more little particles of whatever EVA stands for.
Yeah, I dropped the book and then my camera fell. I dropped the book on the desk and the camera fell because it's like there's a screw that's loose in the back. There's all kinds of problems that happens.
Just one screw that's loose?
Yeah, it's like it's got, so the way that this stand works is that I guess it would be 2 screws that are loose. But the way that the stand works, it's really cool. It like collapses and like ladders up. But the problem is it uses an Allen wrench. But I thought it would use a universal sized Allen wrench. Apparently, it only uses the universal sized Allen wrench that came with the thing, and I don't
That
know where
came
I
with
put
it. Yep.
so I can't tighten it. So I'm gonna go buy another product from them, and hopefully I get the Allen wrench.
Yep. Yep.
Or I need
So
to
it's
really
not
spend time looking.
it's not just the mic that has screws loose, it's you, right?
Yeah, correct. Correct.
I was going for a joke with it, but you know.
No, it landed. I'm sorry. I should have added to it, but then I was like, I'm really pissed off about this stand.
About the Allen wrench, right? Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So tell me, why did you? So I guess first question is, how did you get? I think you've gone over this before on the live, and then we'll move past it. But how did you get involved with using the foam, and how did you learn how to be so good with it? Because you're really good with it, from what I can tell from your. I mean, you guys have amazing. So it's a 2-part question. One, how did you get started in making your cosplays utilizing the foam, and how did you learn about foam? And the second part of the question is kind of separate from this, but is that you guys are everywhere. You guys are going everywhere. And I don't know if that's because I follow your social media, so I see it, right? So I see it, so it feels like you're everywhere. But I feel like you've gone to a lot of conferences. So are you guys doing like a big push into your social media and growth for that? So
yeah.
that's the second question. First question is the foam, how you got into foam.
Yeah, so I got into foam because when Husky Hubby was like, "Hey, I would love to be Gang Orca," and I said, "Oh, you mean the whale person from My Hero Academia?" And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Okay, so you want me to try and make that?" And he's like, "Can you?" And I said, "For you, anything, Husky Hubby." And so I started looking for like, okay, a whale helmet pattern, a whale this, and I found a pattern on Etsy. So the very first build of Gang Orca was from like a pattern. The second build, I kind of repatterned myself. But that called for EVA foam. And so I was like, all right, this is something like I had used the small like craft foam stickers and all of that because those tend to be EVA foam. They're just less dense. So like if you get your kids big tubs of, or like you have a niece who brought you a craft and it's got like a little foam sticker, that's actually EVA foam. It just is a lot thinner. Ah, yes.
I found it on page 21. Ethylene vinyl acetate foam.
Okay.
It's a closed cell material.
That would be why it's dense. Yep. And then when you hit it with a heat gun, those cells close even more, which helps it not to be like a sponge when you paint it. But sorry. Anyway, back to so that pattern called for EVA foam. And I was like, all right, this must be what all the cosplayers use. I'm going to use it. And I jumped right in. And it actually worked out really well because I have been like scrapbooking and crafting and all of that since my youth. And so I loved paper crafting. So building things out of cardboard and everything like that. So moving just into foam, which has very similar geometric properties, like those geometry skill kind of things, as cardboard, it was an easy move for me.
Yeah.
And then
absolutely. And then social media, are you grow? I guess if you want to add more to that story, yes, keep going. If not, what are you doing with your social media? Like, what's your plan here?
So that's so I'm more on like that cosplay side of it. And when we first started the Instagram, it was just because I was like, this might be kind of fun to like, we were going to conventions and all of that. And I was like, this might be kind of fun to like put our adventures online. And then I got to the point where I was like, okay, I haven't posted on here in forever. This is too much for me. And I told my husband, I was like, if you think that we should keep doing this, like cons, obviously, cosplay, obviously, but social media, I don't know. And then he took it and he took off with it. So,
Wow.
yeah, so he's the one who really, like most of the time, if someone sends us a DM, it's my husband who responds, unless it's like a crafting specific question. And then it's going to be me because I love him. He's great at the social media, and he is learning the cosplay stuff now, but I tend to know a little bit more on that crafting side. And so the reason why it looks like we've been everywhere lately is because we kind of have. So he'll put in like a lot of cons will open like applications for creators or applications for like cosplay guests. And so he'll just throw our name in the hat. And a lot of the ones that have reached out, we've been able to go to. And so last year we decided we are doing this so often and we're putting our heart and soul and our money into it. I think we should create an LLC. So we did actually build
nice.
like we built a small business around it. And we actually just opened commissions too. So that's going to be an adventure.
So now you're going to start. Nice.
Yeah. So that's going to be an adventure and we'll see, how far that can go.
But is that going to be all you working then if it's commissions to make the actual cosplays?
So, we have a few come in so far, and I have told him, I'm like, and he was like, let me know. I want to learn. So there are some things that I think he could definitely learn to do, and that'll take some of like that commission piece off because I think he's great. I mean, he's a software engineer, so math and geometry and stuff like that tends to make more sense to him anyway.
Yeah, and then also too, like he'd probably be really good at planning out outfits too because of his like analytical skill set as well.
Yep. So, or at least doing like cost analysis spreadsheets, like those kinds of things.
That's true. He can also do all the business stuff. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
and that's kind of that's the part I've kind of been like and he does all our vlogs too, because we also started vlogging all of our cons. And so he does all our vlog editing, all of our reels, pretty much.
I foresee from looking at what you guys are doing, if you guys keep going on that, this is just my opinion. Oh, wait, hold on. This is prediction time. Let me get our asset here. Prediction time. Oh, that's the wrong one. Damn it. I gotta get that out of there. Where's the right one? Here it is. I got to delete the other one. Prediction time. We also need to make that less pixely. Maybe we can have him look at some of these graphics for us. All right, so prediction time. This is my prediction. I look at your social media and I see other people's social media because I follow a lot of obviously I'm on social media a lot. I foresee you guys getting really big in the cosplay niche just because like the way that you guys do it. I'm also part of you have a broadcast channel, right? And I'm a part of that too. So I see all the stuff that you're doing. So I think that you guys are going to be really big. So hopefully with this one person that's watching the show right now, that's probably William or myself, that, which I'm frustrated. I don't know if you know this, Danielle, but our Age of Radio versus YouTube got shut down. And so it got shut down for copyright. One of the podcasts was using unlicensed music. But I think because Age of Radio didn't have a count with the unlicensed music company, they shut us down. So now I'm doing legal stuff to try to explain it that there's no copyright thing here. There's nothing. It's free music that a podcast uses that no other podcast on the network uses. And so it got shut down. So this was starting to grow. And then now we're back to the beginning on a different YouTube channel. So if you can just share with everybody that you know just to come and watch you on it, then we're in good shape.
Yep. I should have been like, hey, make a post, but
no, it's okay. It's okay. I just wanted you to be on for Foam Talk. All right, so Foam Talk. We got about 15 more minutes, then we'll bring you in on some of the news. So safety precautions. This says something about respirators. What is that? What's a respirator? What's going on? So that is an actual safety precaution that you need.
It is, yes. So a respirator is important, especially when, so I'm going to say this all also with the caveat as do as the book says, do as I'm saying, not as I may always not do in my own little workshop, because protection is protection is very important.
Well, not with respirators, but like with other stuff, I'm all like, this is my advice, but I don't do any of that advice, but listen to my advice because that's the safe thing. Okay, continue. So what's a respirator?
A respirator, actually, give me a second and I'll grab one.
All right, this is something about heat gun.
Yeah. Mind if I get in? Oh, sorry.
Yes, Drake, come in whenever you want. This is Foam Talk. We're all Foam Talking.
So this is kind of adjacent. There, last year when I was doing my interviews, I talked to this lady that made dice, And I can definitely understand that people get like very, very, very uh iffy about this stuff, and I definitely understand doing this stuff because she had a flippin' tent. So my question is, do you have a tent that you have to get into to do your foam stuff that's like well ventilated?
So, I have a tent down in the garage for doing spray paint. And so I only spray paint out in the garage in like a big spray paint tent. So
Yeah.
that I can then open the garage and this is a respirator. And so it
Oh, it's the
looks,
thing that you put on your face to help with
yeah,
the spray paint and
the
stuff going on.
breathing, the
Got it.
respiration.
I
So
thought if it was for
respirator,
if you passed
respirate.
out, someone could grab one of the defibrillator, like it was a defibrillator type of device, and then get you back to life if something bad was
Nope,
happening. Okay,
nope.
that makes
This
sense.
this you put on so you don't need that later because you're not trying to fill your lungs with chemicals. So
Got
this
it.
is like what you wear when you spray paint. When you're sanding EVA foam or using Dremels, you can put these on. These are particle. So there's different attachments for respirators. There's particle ones. There's ones that are for like inhaled substances. And so when I am cutting my foam, I'm not really creating a lot of like foam dust, so I don't use one then. But then when I Dremel my foam, I made a Dremel box so that I can just have it enclosed and I put my gloves, like my gloved hands in it, and then I can Dremel inside rather than Dremeling outside. And it contains all the dust, so I don't have to wear the respirator. But then when I think you're supposed to wear it when you're heat sealing. I don't wear a respirator when I
Let's
heat
see what it
seal.
says here. It says
Right?
respirator.
Consult the book.
It's a good idea to get a backup cartridge set and label each cartridge with the date of the package. It has a cute little cat for I'm assuming you need to be mindful of your cats and their lungs
Pets, yep,
also.
yep.
um
And your
all right.
husband's probably.
Dust protection. What was the question you said? Or what
um,
did you say? You're not sure if you need to
for
wear it
heat
when?
heat sealing, yep.
Oh, I don't know. Here's the heat gun safety part. I haven't read the book though. So this is all me just scanning. But anyways, continue, Danielle.
Yeah, so that's what the respirator is for. I don't wear gloves except for when I do the Dremel because I just don't like Dremel fuzzy particles all over me. And it's like dust containment. And then respirators for spray paint, definitely respirators for using contact cement. So, contact cement is one of the adhesives that's really good for putting your two pieces
Oh.
together. Um,
Okay, Danielle, real quick. In this guide, it has so next to the respirator, it has like a respirator sign, and then on all these things, it says to use a respirator during dust protection, and
mhm.
then hydrogen bromide when heated EVA foam cells close. So and with the heat gun, so you're supposed to use it with the heat gun because of the hydrogen bromide.
Yep. So,
This is
whatever
going to be
that
a
is,
premier foam conversation. We're going to get really
right?
into the chemical aspect of it.
Right?
Ooh, we should find a PhD in chemicals and come on the show and talk to people about foam with us when you're on, Danielle. That's what we should
Right?
do.
And
All
do
right.
prediction time on how long, how many years of my life breathing in some of this stuff is taken off.
Oh, we could totally do that and have them test you. Be like, okay, so Danielle's been doing this long. Sometimes she wears a respirator. What has been damaged on her body after this period of time? We should
Right?
100% do that. All right.
Yep. If you guys know any PhD chemistry
Oh, I'm gonna
people,
find some now,
chemists, yep. My
and hopefully,
master's is not
we
in
can
that, so
hopefully we can find the most boring one too, like the way in which they present, and then it's just this, like the most ridiculously boring conversation when he's talking ever.
right.
All right, I'm just
Um,
randomly. Oh, continue, Danielle.
yeah. No, I was gonna say you want to flip to a random page and tell me what's on it, and we
Yep,
can
that's
chat.
what I'm doing. I love it. I love it.
Okay.
You and you
All
are like
right.
synced up. And Trey, feel free to jump in. And then I need you to go and take a course on foam. We'll take courses on foam, and then we'll just get better knowledge, and then we'll just talk randomly about foam. Okay, so this is about attaching costume pieces. So
Okay.
there's a thing called D-ring, and I'm
Yep. A
assuming
D-ring.
that's not for something else. So
It
what
is.
is a
It's
D-ring?
different. A D-ring is a metal ring shaped like a D. That's why they are called D-rings. Yep. And on, yep, that picture was what it is. And you can use those to attach belting, almost said foaming, but that doesn't make sense. Like nylon webbing.
Use that for foaming.
Foaming, yes. Nylon webbing, ribbons, anywhere that you want to like take an attachment and put it on, you can attach that D-ring, and then it holds like webbing on the other, or it holds some stringy type thing on the other side. They're used for attachments.
Yeah.
Like a buckle then, or something.
Kind
like
of. Yeah, so you can
Odd that you
use
say that, Trey, because right underneath D-ring is
our
buckle.
buckles.
So what's the
Yep.
difference?
So
So
the
the-
difference
Yeah.
The difference between a buckle and a D-ring is that a D-ring doesn't hold things by itself. You'd have to have two of them to make like a tension kind of belt. Whereas a buckle, you've got that piece that you put the hole in, and so it holds your piece on the other side. So typically when you've got a D-ring, you've got a buckle too. And so on one side, your D-ring, I'm trying to think. I don't think I have anything out right now with a D-ring. I'd have to unpack Alphonse, and that would take a while. But it is something that okay. So here's my hair tie, right? And you would put the material around the hair tie, right? And this represents the D-ring. My thumb can be the D-ring. And then the buckle is on this side. So if you had another D-ring instead of a buckle, they'd have to stay attached. And so if you used elastic, they would stretch. But if you need that piece to come off, that's where a buckle comes in, because it's got the piece that can attach and detach. So they're just different attachment styles.
Yeah. That's really cool. And then
That
I don't know
makes
when
sense.
William put this, but William used to do epoxy sprayer, but I never wore a respirator. Yes. So that's a good point, William. You can be a part of the death test that we're trying to do with
There
how
we
long-
go.
You can also send in how long you've been doing that and how badly you've been affected. And then we can figure out and we can take votes and like we'll give away money for people that get the closest amount of like how damaged their lungs have been for this. And then it looks like William also put Trey Runaway. I don't know when he put that. It was probably at some point about the D-ring is what my guess would be. All right, let's go randomly for fun because we got about 7 more minutes.
Okay.
And then we can talk to you about some AI and some stuff. So this is actually kind of cool. So and so I want to hear yours. So it looks like in this example using EVA foam scraps. So like obviously when you're doing stuff, you have a lot of materials left over. Kind of like whenever I'm wrapping paper, I'm a horrible Christmas wrapper, and then I have a bunch of paper left over because I have to do stuff so many times, and then like leftovers and so forth. And so in this in Beverly's book, she made it looks like she used scraps to make like this little Yoda thing or something along those lines. So do you reuse your scraps, Danielle, for stuff, or what do you do? Do you throw them away?
I do. No, I have a like hamper that has a trash bag in it that holds all of my scraps. And so then when I need to do something, because EVA foam can be expensive and cosplay in general is more of a non-sustainable hobby and business and all of that, because so many things have to be created new, that I try and reuse as much as I can. So I do have a scrap hamper, and I will pull pieces out as I need them. Thin, tiny scraps are really good when you don't have a brush for your contact cement as well. So you can put a little blob on it and then use like the scrap of foam to apply it.
Yeah,
that's a smart
Beverly's onto something there with her scrap hack.
Yeah, whoever she is, she seems
right.
I don't know.
idea.
I've never heard of
what
her,
I did.
but...
So I have like a bunch of prompts in Chat GPT. So whenever I want to like learn about something, like find me like the best books and rate them. And this one came up good. And since I literally know nothing about cosplay except for what you guys tell me about, then I'm like, I'll just trust that this one's a good one. All right, so let's talk about screws for this last part. Screws.
Okay.
So I'm
Screws and
curious.
D-rings,
I see lots of D-rings and screws. Elastic grommets, hook and eye closures, magnets. So I guess, wait, hold on. Maybe these aren't screws. And then there's Chicago. I guess this would be like a attachments. It's an attachment section. So what are Chicago screws? Let's start there. Do you know what a Chicago screw is? Have you ever seen that screw before?
I do know what a Chicago screw is because I have used them before. And so I like to use
real quick, Danielle, real quick. This is a pretty accurate book for actually what happens that people actually utilize for cosplay.
Yep.
Anyways, okay, so what's a Chicago screw?
So a Chicago screw is like a flathead screw. So it's got like a flat part at the bottom, and then the screw sticks up just a little bit, and then it's got a threaded spacer piece too. So what you can do with those is you can use them, like you can inset the spacer piece, so like what would hold the screw. And Chicago screws have those spacer pieces that are round. They're different than like a hex bolt. And so a round piece is a lot easier to make a hole for because you can use a drill for it in your EVA foam. So you drill through the foam and then you glue that spacer in there. And then like your other piece you've got and you just screw it on.
Oh,
and so
that makes
you
sense.
thread that. Yep. And so the flat screw head also makes it a lot easier to attach because it's you get a lot more surface area to hold.
Nice. So what are some of your favorite ways to attach? Like what attachments do you use?
I love buckles. And honestly, I'm going to be real honest and people can come at me. The one person you said was watching the show.
Two.
Today.
Two. And then later on, maybe more. What'll happen is this is where it happens. This is where people get called out on the show is Trey takes clips of the show. When those clips go out on YouTube or Instagram, that's when people start saying shit about what we're saying on it. And then I just ignore it. But anyways, go
on. Duct tape. I really like duct tape, especially when I am testing things because I like that it holds, but it's not permanent. And then recently I've really gotten into magnets, insetting magnets into foam.
I saw magnets in here somewhere.
Yep, magnets are really good. And I don't think, again, it's packed. Otherwise, I'd show you Alphonse's head. I just don't have his horn because it's...
And if you guys, we're trying to get all of the shows back up on the Mercury YouTube. So if you're watching this somewhere else, head on over to YouTube, go to Mercury. It's Age of Radio. Mercury by Age of Radio is the full YouTube title. Go and subscribe to that, follow that. I'm getting a new assistant here in the next couple of weeks, and one of her jobs is going and downloading all the old StreamYard videos and then getting them all up in different playlists. So one of those playlists will be like from our shows, and I think we've seen Alphonse at least twice because you wore Alphonse in Tucson, didn't you?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I think Alphonse is a full thing in Tucson, and they all and Danielle and Husky Hubby have also done. They did our Mario Kart game segment that we did, and then we also had you in a really cool outfit when we did UwuCon, but I don't remember what outfit that was.
Heimdall and Mighty Thor. Yep.
Oh yes, Heimdall. Yep, that was good.
And Foul Mouth Heathen broke my hammer. Not for real, but he dropped it.
Yeah, he did drop it. No, you should send him a bill. He was on here. You should definitely send him a bill. I think that would be hilarious. Okay, continue, Danielle. Thank you.
Yeah, no, so real fast, I was just going to show the magnet. So Alphonse's head is made out of EVA foam, and then we recently redid his spikes because we travel with him, so he has to fit into a checked bag. And so having the spikes be able to come off is good. So this is a 3D printed piece that has magnets inset, and then his head has magnets inset, and then it just
that's so cool.
Yep.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen the Alphonse, just so you guys know, their Alphonse gets people like from anybody that sees it, they just come over. It's really good. And the light, look at that.
LED. It's new. We added LED lights.
That is awesome. I was like, I haven't seen that before.
No, that's new. Yeah.
That is freaking awesome. I'm so excited for that. That's cool.
Yeah, when you guys should check it out when my 6'3" husband is wearing it because he is like Alphonse size.
Oh, yeah. Are you going to be at Tempe LibCon?
Yeah, that's our plan. So we should be there tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah,
we'll have you come and do stuff, and you can build.
Right.
Chuck. All right. So, real quick. So you're going to be at LibCon, and then you have another big conference coming up, Danielle? Or
we will. Yeah, we'll be at Game On. Game On is our next. So February is kind of like we're taking some time off and Game On, and then we will be at. Again, Husky Hubby does this. I know where we're going to be, but he puts it on the calendar. So We will be at Game On, and then in April, we're actually content creators for WeebCon in
Okay.
Dallas. Yeah, so
Nice.
that one's in Dallas, Texas, and then we'll be at Level Up Expo as content creators in where is it? Vegas. So we'll be at Vegas at
When is
the end
that?
of April.
I might come and bother you. Not like bother you,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah,
might
yeah.
come and do a live show and just be like, and then do a segment with you, and then it'll make it seem like we're doing all kinds of big stuff, and we're really not because I'm
Right?
showing up
Yeah.
where you're at. We'll
Right.
make Trey go.
Level
Trey, you ever been to Vegas?
I have not been to
Fantastic.
Vegas ever.
I can fly Trey anywhere for some reason from Montana for like $300 round trip. It's ridiculous. I don't know what's going on.
they want to
Maybe
get all
not
the
to
people
Vegas.
yeah,
What'd
out of
you say, Danielle?
Montana. Oh no, I was gonna make a joke about Montana, but it's actually beautiful. There's more
Yeah.
animals there than people though, so
Yeah, I guess that's true. That's what I think Trey says.
right?
Something like
There
that,
are
Trey.
a lot of animals there. Yeah.
It's
Um,
probably snowing though right now. Gross. Snow's the worst.
Luckily, we don't have any.
Oh,
We had some for a
good.
couple days, but it's gone.
Oh, that's good then.
Well, good, because I'm gonna go snowshoeing. What are we doing? Snowshoeing, Trey? We're
Snowshoeing
gonna go
up
do
at
snowshoeing this year. So
Oh,
we'll see how
fun.
that goes. I'll take pictures and send it to you to show you how cold it is. All right.
Right.
So thank you so much, Danielle, for talking about
Yeah.
foam. I want to talk to you a little bit about artificial intelligence, being that you're a content creator, and you're also, I don't want to say what your profession is on here, but you have a profession that I guess is kind of affected by AI, right? Maybe? No?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, Brandon, my husband, is a software engineer.
He probably
So,
uses it, yeah.
yeah, I mean, when you say you have like ChatGPT queued up, I do use ChatGPT in my job and to help me answer questions sometimes. I'm a speech pathologist, so I will sometimes use AI to help me refine things because my favorite thing about it is like I can say, hey, this is what this child needs to be successful. This is what I'm thinking of goals. Can you help me refine this so it doesn't sound like I'm writing the same goal for every child every time? Because
Yeah.
there's a little bit of nuance in there. And so then if it gives me 5 responses, I can pick the one that's best from there and then revise it to really hone in. I think AI is a tool. I don't think it's the end of the world. But also, that's what Husky Hubby tells me because he's a software engineer and he's like, people say that it's generative and that, well, it is generative and that it has a conscience and all of this stuff. But he's like, we're nowhere near Terminator land. It's doing what you tell it to do. And it's basically an advanced Google search. So,
Yeah, and that's what Trey tries to tell people here too. I think, which we'll talk about in a minute, because there's 2 points that I want to do. So this is Joseph
okay.
Gordon-Levitt. He's a famous actor. He also owns a media company called Press Play, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
He's a really big advocate for policy reform as it relates to artificial intelligence. And so this is a video from him in front of the Utah legislature or Senate or something in regards to that, which we'll talk a little minute about him talking about a situation where, so Facebook has chat bots and some of them are sexual and intimate in nature, and children get access to those. And then the child built some type of, I think, relationship on it. And then something happened in regards to it. And it was sharing with the bot about its thoughts on, I believe, suicide. And the bot supported the suicide, and then the individual, I believe, killed themselves. And so Joseph Gordon-Levitt's a really big advocate for at least policy as it relates to AI, and this is him in front of someone talking about that. So I'm going to press play and then we can discuss it a little bit.
I'm a dad. That's why I'm here today. I have 2 boys and a girl. They're 10 and 8 and 3. And I am worried for them. I'm worried about them growing up in a future that's dominated by these amoral AI businesses that have proven time and time again that they are incapable of prioritizing the well-being of kids. Whenever there's a tragedy like this, they pay lip service to the families. But I'm sorry, it is clear as that is spin, it's PR, it's marketing. Because again, these companies are driven by only that one guiding principle: making money. That's it. So this is why the AI industry needs laws. The federal government hasn't done anything about this yet, but thank goodness the states are stepping up. I was actually here in Utah just a couple months ago for the AI summit that Governor Cox put on along with his excellent team of very smart people that are working on this. Utah, as far as I understand, has been a leader in the past, protecting kids against these predatory tech companies. And now I think it's time for Utah to be that leader again. So ladies and gentlemen of this committee, again, thank you for having me. And I'm asking you as a tech enthusiast and as a businessman and as a fellow American and as a dad, please do the right thing and pass this bill. Thank you.
All right, so let's see if we can find some more context to what he's talking about. Just give me 1 second here. All right, so essentially, oh, go ahead.
My face, sorry.
Wait, what'd you say, Danielle?
Oh no, I was just scooting my chair in, and then my forehead was forefront.
No, it's okay. You should see the weird shit that happens on here. Okay, so Joseph Gordon-Levitt traveled to Utah to voice his support for a state bill that demands greater AI transparency from tech companies, as well as greater protections put in place to keep child users safe. And we just listened to his situation and regarding him being a dad, him having two boys and a girl, and he told Utah representatives at the state's capitol during that House Economic Development and Workforce Services Committee meeting. So the subject being discussed was HB 286, a new bill sponsored by Republican Utah Congressman Doug FIFA. The bill is designed to force tech companies to create, implement, and publish public safety and child protection plans for their AI platforms and chatbots. That is a cause that Gordon-Levitt has been vocal about in the recent months. He's also called out Gavin Newsom because Gavin Newsom had a similar bill that I don't think that he signed into law. So I'm not exactly sure what happened with that because I didn't do further research from this article and Trey giving it to me, or me telling Trey to put this and give this to us. But I think down here it talks a little bit about the situation of what I was talking about earlier with the intimate bot. And then I believe that it led to the child. Okay. So essentially the child began confiding his suicidal thoughts to the chat bot. Rather than terminating the conversation or encouraging him to seek outside help, ChatGPT, so it was ChatGPT that was the suicide one, helped walk him through suicide methods and materials, and at one point discouraged him from speaking to his mother about the struggles. So essentially the chat bot really pushed him, or was more giving, I don't want to say lip service, but there's a term for it that escapes me right now, when the AI is essentially just doing what you're telling it to do, to like be that you were right and you were the one that's saying the right thing, right? And there's a term for it that they use in it, but I forgot what it was. And then, if I'm not mistaken, there's also the situation here in September. Gordon-Levitt made a New York Times co-ed video calling out Mark Zuckerberg and Meta's chatbots and the synthetic intimacy they create with their users, which include minors. Even in the video, Gordon-Levitt criticized Zuckerberg for prioritizing lots and lots of money over safety regulations that would regulate and guard children's interactions with Meta AI technologies. And so there's another show called Hard Fork, and they talked a little bit about this. And from the Meta perspective, there was policies that were in place that they should have followed to do this, but the two departments weren't talking to each other during the creation of the actual bots. So from my understanding, Meta had the policies, but no one was like reinforcing those policies because the areas weren't communicating with each other about what was happening. So first, since Danielle, you're here and you've never been on the show, I'd love to hear your thoughts about this, and then we'll go to Trey.
So my thoughts first and foremost, as I've dedicated my entire adult life to working with children all the way from preschool to high school. I've worked with everyone in the age spans in my career, and I do think that our children need to be protected. And I do see definitely, even with the rise of just social media in general, so not even AI, and some of the impact of that, I do think there need to be more rules and regulations, and especially, and not censorship, because I know that's a big deal too. Like, we should be able to explain how we feel about things, but I think there should be a line when those things are being put in front of our children. And with that, I think that there need to be stops, I guess, or lines in the sand for like, this is not something that, like, if this word is put into ChatGPT or whatever generative AI, it's immediately a stop. Like, if the word suicide gets put in there, there needs to be, because it's all programming, part of that program that says, okay, we detected the word suicide. This chat line is finished, and you
Right.
need to contact, you know, like, this is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and that just needs to be, you know, the end. And that's my thought on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Danielle. Trey?
So I'm gonna try and be quick with this because I have a lot that I want to get through real quick. First off, there are, and they actually improved them after the incident that you're talking about, Jeremy.
Yep.
There are guidelines and guardrails put in place to prevent that thing. Unfortunately, the youth today are really smart, and there are tons of articles online about how to get over those guardrails. Sometimes they will ask how to, like, how to tell a story about it, or how to do. They'll do a role play for it and say it's fictitious, and also
I
these
see what you're
models
saying.
kind
Yeah.
of have this thing of they'll carry on with the same framing that you started with, even if you are not. So this one in particular, when the kid said, "Should I tell my mom I'm having these thoughts?" and ChatGPT said no, it was still framing it in the story. And I'm not saying that, you know, there shouldn't be, because there should be guardrails, but also it's really iffy when it comes to protection, when it comes to tech, because if you it's either you have privacy or you have security. There is no in between, and we're seeing all over, including in AI, these companies are starting to collect information to try and detect minors, but that also means that they have information on probable minors. LinkedIn, what's the word? That game, Roblox, all of these are doing like these AI child detection filters that have such a success rate. And I think that the main thing should be giving the parents all of the tools, and almost to the point, like making sure that the tools are used, and giving like some sort of parental education. Because I think that if you do it on the companies, one, that's not exactly the best way to put your trust, and two, it's not necessarily going to be effective because there are all sorts of ways to get around this stuff.
Yeah. I do. So I listen to All In podcasts. And so obviously, not to go too into political, I think most people know that I'm very more left leaning than right leaning, but All In podcast is a very right leaning show. But I like listening to it because, one, they talk about like venture capitalism, things like that, which is something that interests me. But in it, the David Sachs are the czar, the crypto czar, or the AI czar of the United States, who's in the administration or part of the administration for the Trump administration. One of the things that he brought up, especially regarding Gavin Newsom, because him and I think Jason, or the main host of the show, kind of disagree a little bit on this topic. He wants there to be no state intervention whatsoever, and it to be a completely federal thing that has the say in it. And the reason why he says this, and this is what I kind of wanted to see, Trey, your thoughts on, and Danielle, if you have anything to add as well, was that he says that the reason why he wants that, so that the states don't have anything, is because he feels that it's going to slow down our progress with AI. And his fear is that other countries, like per se China, are going to get an upper hand on artificial intelligence and put us as Americans in a worse off position. Because when we think about future wars, a lot of it's going to be AI related, or AI being used to do certain things faster than humans could, from like a war perspective. So Trey, I'm curious on, do you think that the states putting these policies in effect would affect that?
So I am not sure. It like so. Um, if it's an effective, they need to change
Mhm.
their systems or something like that. Maybe I haven't read the article, but I am like, so it depends on how it's written. There was once a UK bill that talked about like protecting the internet and protecting the internet for people. And if you read the bill, and I'm not going to go into the thing here, and again, I try not to get political on this show either. But all of this stuff
Yeah, of
ends
course.
up bogging down these companies because the more regulations there are, the more you have to work around, the longer stuff takes. And I think that that's like just kind of a thing when it comes to regulation. Not saying that there shouldn't
Yeah.
be regulation because there should, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm in
Danielle.
agreement as well, and I tend to try and not be political either. I think that in other instances where things were kind of removed from being done at the state level and sent off to the federal level, I feel like that has created quite a disparity in
Mhm.
certain things and certain aspects of our country as a whole, that
Yeah.
it was supposed to push our country forward as a whole, and it really has just fractured how things are being done, and the benefits dependent on what state you live in. And I think that same thing would happen. I mean, I don't know a ton about, like what um, innovations in tech and all of that. But I feel that it would just limit progress as well to kind of take some of that, I guess, state to state competition away too. Or like certain states have different, I guess, subsets of minds and, different ideals in the state. And so they might take AI a different way than a state that might, be more right leaning or more left leaning. But I still think that we need the ability to do all of
Yeah.
that to be able to come back to a good center. And I think that if you just put it all under federal bureaucracy, then nothing is ever going to get done, because that, in my opinion, is what seems to
Yeah.
happen when we send everything up to the top, because it's 4 years of this, and
Think
then,
up
oh,
to the
nope,
top
now
of,
it's
yeah.
4 years. Yeah. And
Oh,
so
no,
I
now it's
feel like,
4 years of this, and then nope, it's 4 years
uh-huh.
of that. Yeah.
Yep. And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah,
feel
that's
like,
true. Which is a good point because which is a good point that I never thought about before. States tend to stay right, left put aside. States tend to stay longer in whatever their political leaning is. So like you could
Mhm.
have, like Arizona's predominantly more Republican and traditionally has more Republican stuff, right? And then but now we're more purple with some more blue, but that could, so you'll see maybe some things like this, but predominantly Arizona's been more red, right? And so
Mhm.
so when we think about that, it might be better at the state because then the policies would stay longer and not be so switching so much. That's a good point.
And
Can
then
All
I
right,
you
Trey,
can
make a
why
point?
don't
learn.
you
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry.
I
go
didn't
ahead?
mean
There's
to
a
interrupt
lag,
you.
so my apologies, guys. We're having all of our issues like we always do. It's fine. Go, someone talk.
Okay, my apologies. This, so what I've heard, and I'm not saying that you guys, because in a lot of ways you guys are absolutely right, but from what I heard, that doesn't fit at this tech level, because what they do is they take the state that has the most um, difficult stuff, and they work off that. And if they can't, and that's only after they try and argue it out with the state and take it up to the Supreme Court and all of that bull crap that big companies do.
Yeah.
Yeah, tech will just, if it's ironclad, the tech uh companies will just do that, and it will limit everyone else. There's no competition there.
Okay, so you're in traditionally in tech, it's been they take whoever the narrowest kind of focus, the narrowest set of um
The hardest
parameters.
regulation.
Yep. Yep. Okay. And then
Yeah.
everyone's just like, oh,
Okay,
well,
that
that court
makes
case
sense.
was that way. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems
Yeah.
to be one of those things that is, and sorry to go back to your point earlier, Trey, too. You said there needs to be parent education, and there needs to be some way to really kind of bring that parental piece back into kids on the internet. Because when we grew up, our parents were like, I don't even know what the internet is. And so I'm going to kind of watch what you're doing, And so just really, if there were a way to work in, and of course, I mean, everyone had some of those parents too that would just be like, oh, here's the field trip thing. And they're like, I'm not even going to read it. I'm just going to sign it. And those same things happen on the internet. And so it wouldn't protect everyone. But yeah, there has to be some kind of parental education. And, you know, I don't know where, I don't have a good answer on where to put that because those, you know, we're already so overwhelmed in the schools. We try. We
Right.
do.
Yeah.
We put,
Yeah.
you know, there's
Yeah.
cybersecurity education already in the curriculum. There are all those kinds of things that are set to protect kids in the educational curriculum, but we don't have control over what they do at home and what they
Yeah.
do on their phones. And so trying to kind of bridge all of that, and that's for education in general too, and just everything going on. So I think the AI sphere is kind of almost a microcosm of some other things that are happening societally as well.
Absolutely. Well, and you know, again, there's not going to be an easy solution to it. It's probably going to be a harder solution, just like these amazing, amazing Harry Styles abs. Trey, we need to add more pop culture. Why do we have a half-naked picture of Harry Styles?
Oh my gosh. Why
I
is
love
that
the
there? I
articles
didn't
that you're
see
coming
that.
up with. Look at that. Look at those bad
Why
boys.
is that there?
How long does he have this butterfly tattoo? Look at that thing.
I like
Look at
that
those Hard
tattoo. It's a
Rock
sweet
abs.
tattoo.
Harry
Yeah.
Styles returns to music. I know that actually is a pretty cool tattoo. Harry Styles returns to music and embraces the light with Aperture, his new single that was released January 22nd that ushers in a new album era alongside an exciting residency-focused live tour. So, Trey, are you a big Harry Styles fan? Is that what's happening here?
That is not what's happening here. So look, pop culture news is so flippin' widespread and so flippin'. I don't know where to go. So I literally just Google or ask ChatGPT.
Actually, that's really big pop culture news because Harry Styles is a big artist coming back
He's a big
to the
artist,
limelight
yeah.
with a new song. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Do you like Harry Styles, Danielle? What kind of music you listen to?
You know, I listen to a lot of everything. The last Harry Styles I will say that I heard was whenever Watermelon Sugar came out. I don't
Yep.
I tend to be more on like the pop punk side of things too. Like I'll listen to top 40 stuff, but I still go back to like My Chemical Romance, all of that.
Yeah.
That was like the music of my youth. So there's some good
Yeah.
artists coming out in that sphere. I'll be interested to listen to the Harry Styles song. I bet it's good.
Yeah, that's a big pop culture news. I know that's why you did it, Trey, because I was like, we need to find other pop culture news. But I was just like, he always finds these weird, like half-naked sex ones that have something. All right, Dragon Ball 40th anniversary event. Again, we only have
Jeremy?
7 more minutes. Oh, go ahead, Trey.
I apologize for stopping you. I just wanted to let you know we're having a thing about Instagram. Do you want me to, before we do the next article, do you want me to go through the Discord stuff real quick and you can make sure that's on, or do you want to just let that go for now?
No, I have it up over here. I just let it go. I didn't care. I was like, some
Okay.
technical difficulties I don't care about. That's when, even though there was a lot of people that were watching it, I don't care about it anymore. I'm like, whatever, shut down. It's fine. I'm more excited about Dragon Ball 40th anniversary because this is one of your favorite anime, isn't it, Trey?
It is.
2025. Oh, sweet. There you go. Nice. 2025 marks 40 years since Akira, I'm going to probably say the name wrong, so don't yell at me, Toriyama's groundbreaking Dragon Ball manga first hit shelves in Japan. The Dragon Ball, what's that word, Trey? Danielle, Ginki Damatsuri? Ginki,
Yeah,
that must be
probably
the 40 years.
Damatsuri.
Ginki Damatsuri must be the 40 years. Was held in Japan over the weekend to celebrate the global manga, anime, and video game phenomenon, taking up the huge Makuhari Messe event space near Tokyo. The event featured everything from exclusive merch, live game contests, and specially curated exhibits of original artwork. The main stage was packed with exciting announcements about where the series is headed after the death of series creator Akira Toriyama, including 2 new anime TV series, a new game, and a massive new DLC for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. All right, so let's talk with the 2 anime series. I'm going to start with Trey. And now I'm excited because, Danielle, you're a big fan. But, Trey, you didn't want them to make new stuff, right?
So I did, but for one of these series, I'm not upset. Yeah. So I'm worried that if they try and extend it past what Toriyama wrote, it's going to lose all of its heart, and we're going to end up with Dragon Ball GT again.
Okay.
That's my worry.
All right, Danielle. So how do you feel about Dragon Ball GT first? And then are you excited for new Dragon Ball anime series?
So I will say I was a late adopter of Dragon Ball, and I have not actually seen GT yet. But Dragon Ball
Apparently you shouldn't,
Super,
because I don't think Trey liked it.
I know, right? Yeah, so it's also very nostalgic for me in a way because Husky Hubby and I, when we first got together, this was the first thing that really ignited the fact that both of us loved anime, and we watched the whole Dragon Ball Z. And then when Super came out, I will say that Zeno is literally my favorite character. He's just so great. Are you familiar at all, Jeremy?
No, I am not
Okay.
familiar with anything. The only animes that I've ever finished were Neon Genesis Evangelion, probably Cowboy Bebop. Trey's making me watch Bleach right now, and then before that, I just watched a bunch of movies because I don't. The problem with series in me, even my whole life, even when I was younger, I never had time to watch series because I'm always doing stuff. So that's why I've always been really attracted to movies, is because I can I can one and done it. I can be like,
Yeah.
here's a 2-hour block. I'm just gonna watch this movie, or 3-hour block and watch 2 movies or whatever, and then I'm done.
Yep.
So no, I'm not familiar with it.
It might be a hot take. I don't know how you feel about it, Trey. We started Dragon Ball Z, and then we ended up finishing with Dragon Ball Z Kai because I just couldn't do 80 episodes of Snake Way. We didn't have time with our 40-hour-a-week jobs. But if you ever watch it, Jeremy, I say watch Kai because it shortens the story, takes out some of the filler. Really great. But anyway, I'm super excited for anything new. Dragon Ball. We actually, some of our first cosplays together were Bad Band Vegeta and Bulma, and then we did Krillin and Android 18 because we went to the first ever KamehaCon that was in Dallas. So I'm just stoked. Vegeta, I'm a Vegeta stan. If you watch our latest vlog, I talk about someone who did art justice, or talk to someone who did art justice Vegeta. I'm hoping, I know that Toriyama's heart was always Goku's gotta win, but I want Vegeta to have his day. And I really hope, that they just, because his character arc is just so good. I geek out so hard about Dragon Ball.
No, I'm really excited about this because now I'm gonna make sure that whenever you're on the show that we have Dragon Ball conversation.
I just love it. And I'm not, people are, you're probably not even a fan because I can't tell you every character of every arc ever, but I can tell you lots of stuff that I remember, and it just makes me happy.
Yeah.
And
That's
that's
what's
what it's
important.
supposed to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
Trey, you
the-
probably have a lot more like ideas on all of like the technical, like this plot, that plot. I'm just like, Goku and Vegeta, yes, Majin Buu, yeah, hopefully Zeno's in it again.
Yeah, so this one, it looks like the event kicked off with a brief talk between Son Goku's Japanese VA Masako Nozawa and Dragon Ball series executive producer Ikio Iyoku, followed by the premiere of a special video making the 40th anniversary of Dragon Ball, featuring music specifically composed by Hans Zimmer. Trey, try to find this video if you can, and we'll watch it next week because we're coming towards the end of the show. But this new one's going to be called the Galactic Patrol anime. It'll adapt the Moro or Galactic Patrol Prisoner arc, which are chapters 42 to 67 of the Dragon Ball Super manga. It follows on from the Universe Survival arc of the Dragon Ball Super anime, which aired between 2015 and 2018. So, Trey, are you familiar with this arc? Like, is this a good thing or a bad thing or not a thing?
So this is actually a good thing. I'm actually very happy with this. This is actually in the manga. This is actually just a continuation of Dragon Ball Super, so I think this is a good series.
Right. Well, cool. All right, guys. Well, we're coming up to the 5 o'clock, depending on where you're watching. It's 5 o'clock in Arizona. So Danielle, if you want to let everybody know where they can find you, some of the stuff that you want them to go and watch, where they can find your vlog, we'll start with you and then we'll go over to Trey.
All right. So we are at Husky Hubby Cosplay on Instagram. On YouTube is where we put all our vlogs. We're active almost every day on Instagram, posting content, all of that. And we do have a TikTok. at Husky Hubby Cosplay. Still working out how we want to do that. But yeah, Husky Hubby Cosplay is where you can find us.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Danielle. And I'm super excited for where we take foam talk into the future. I'm going to come up with all kinds of stuff, and we're going to even cover tray and foam one day. Don't know how we're going to do that or what that's like, but I was looking for foam kits. I've been looking for all kinds of foam, Trey, especially for Dustin. We're going to make Dustin do all kinds of stupid stuff. All right, Trey, where can people find you? What calls to actions do you have, sir?
Okay, so you can find me just about everywhere at Creator Tray. I did a really fun video this week on TikTok and Instagram showing off my desk setup. Really proud of that one. And then Substack, I've got that article that we discussed earlier, creatortray.substack.com, and that's all I got. Thank you.
Perfect, Trey. Thank you again. My name's Jeremy. Make sure that you follow me at Age of Jeremy, wherever you get your social media, and on my YouTube at Age of Jeremy. New episodes of Age of Jeremy, my podcast, will be coming out. I've been really focusing on this. It's also tax season, so I'm super busy with a lot of businessy stuff, but they will be coming out, and I'll also be continuing my conversations with content creators, so we'll probably make Danielle come on that. We'll make Trey come on that. People that I know. So that'll be fun. And then again, we're going to be working to have our foam talk segment once a month. And I will work with Danielle, hopefully if she's interested in it. If not, I'll work on it my own and just make her come to the show. And then we'll figure out some new cool stuff to do with foam, but make sure that you follow Danielle, and hopefully she can be a continued part of the Mercury show. And we will be at Tempe FanCon tomorrow at 10 a.m. We'll start going live, and Danielle and Brandon will both be there from Husky Hubby Cosplay, so we'll get them in on the camera as well. And also, last thing, make sure that you follow 3T Warrior Academy. We're launching a brand new podcast with all of our coaches, with myself, with Coach JV. So go to 3T Warrior Academy. That'll probably be a weekly podcast. We have a new podcast room set up inside of our offices in Mesa, Arizona. So I'm really excited about that, and we'll probably get Arizona Mercury guest to come down or fly Trey down to be on that every once in a while for fun. So with that, as I always say, be thankful, grateful, and kind. I know we didn't talk about any podcast news today, so go to our Discord, go into Trey, what's the news feed called now? Dispatch. Go into the Dispatch channel. You can get all of the news. Keep up to date on everything podcasting. And as I always say, be thankful, grateful, and kind, and we'll talk with you soon. Bye.